The popularity of compact cameras are huge right now. They seem to be making quite the comeback. And I've got one that I want to share with you guys. Welcome back to the channel, folks. Barry Mountford here. We are back with another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Lumix TZ70. This is a compact camera which punches above its weight. As you can see, it's super small, as the name suggests, compact. It's fully manual, and it has a few tricks up its sleeve which we're going to touch on in this video. I've had this out and about around the streets. I'll pop a link to a card above. You can go and check that out, and I'll also show you a little bit of the footage in this video also. Now, this is just a quality little camera, and I think what people who are watching this video probably already watched other videos regarding compact cameras, and they seem to be very popular now. But not only popular, they seem to be going up in price quite a bit. There's quite a few compact cameras that I'm after, that I'm watching, but they're in, you're talking a few £100 for a compact camera that when it came out 10 years ago would have been roughly about the same price. So the prices are going up in popularity. Sorry, the prices are going up as they become more popular once again. So the Lumix TZ70, why did I pick up this camera? Well, one, because I wanted one that would just literally pop it in my pocket and I can take anywhere. I don't like using camera phones. I'm not a huge fan because you just don't get that same connection, that same feel that you do when using a real camera. You have all of the mode dials on the camera. You can go through, obviously, the automatic program, shutter speed, manual. You have custom 1, custom 2, and then you have scene mode, AI. There's quite a few settings on this camera which will allow you to get quite creative using this little tool. Now, what drew me to this camera is it has an EVF built into it. Now, small compact cameras, some of them get quite difficult to find an EVF built into them, and this one does have one. It is small, but it is very usable on very bright days when you need it. And I wanted one with an EVF and one that was small and very pocketable, and this kind of fit all of those tick boxes that I was looking for. And what also drew me to this camera as well is that it has an amazing range, and it is optical. It isn't digital, it's an optical range going from 24mm right the way to 720mm. And that is optical. That is unbelievable. And it also has a 5-axis image stabilization built into this camera, which is quite amazing considering the actual size of that camera. If I put that on my palm of my hand, you can see how small that is. If it's going to focus, it's tiny, just fits into the palm of my hand. Probably the same size as a phone, really no bigger than a phone. Actually smaller in length than a phone. But overall, it's a great camera to use. The autofocus is good, it's adequate, it'll get through most things. Street photography is what I bought it for, just walking around the streets on those days where you just want to have a wander out and see what's out there, see what there is to capture around and about. And this worked phenomenally well. I was very surprised at how well it did work. It also shoots RAW files, which you actually can pull quite a little bit of detail out of there, which on the video I posted a couple of months ago now, I'll show you how much detail you can actually get out of the shadow areas. And when these images are printed, it really does look amazing. I was blown away at the quality coming out of this little compact camera. Super happy that I bought it. I actually picked this up for around about, I think it was £65. Now the problem is, with these becoming super popular, all compact cameras, and as soon as they are reviewed, the prices do seem to go straight up because everybody wants to jump on them. So this one has kind of gone up a little bit since I made that video a while back. That's just the way it is. But if you keep an eye out, you will find some bargains out there, as I did. Now it also has a function button at the back, so obviously you can use the function button. What else do I have on it? Also records video. Yes, it records video. Forgot to mention that, didn't I? And the video itself is really decent considering the type of camera it is. It's not something you want to use professionally, obviously, but if you're out and about and you want to grab some video footage, this will do a really nice job of capturing that footage. You could quite easily tell a story using this camera. It has face tracking, which works really well, to be fair. I mean, this is almost 10 years old, came out around about 2015. That's quite an old camera. It takes small batteries. Now, they don't really last ages, these batteries, but they last long enough if you keep switching the camera on and off. they will do a job for you. I've got a spare one, so I just shove the spare one in my pocket when I'm walking about. It really is a fantastic camera. The build quality of it feels really good in the hand. The top of the body here is all metal. I think the rest of it, I think that's plastic, but the top of it is all metal, so it has that nice feel in the hand. And also as well, when you're using this camera in manual mode, this can be your focus mode, but it can also be your aperture, it can also be your shutter, depending on how you set it up. And it works so well, so you have full controls of your manual settings right here at the click of a dial. But how I like to use it, I'm setting it in RAW. I love to shoot JPEG and RAW files, so I'll set the JPEG to the black and white filter, which is on here, so I can see exactly what I'm shooting. I can see straight away how I want it through the camera. But I've also got it set on spot metering. So basically I'm going to be picking the brightest part of the scene, and then I'll half press the shutter and I'll recompose, and that's how I'm choosing how I want the exposure to come through on the camera. Rather than messing around with the dials, I'm literally just using that spot metering, half pressing and then refocusing. That's just allowing me to walk around quickly and grab shots nice and easy. It's a super fun camera to use, one that I'm really enjoying using, and then it'll be in my pocket. It's in my bag most of the times when I go out. And if I'm just out by myself or out with the family, I tend to stick this in my pocket now because it's fantastic and the results are really, really good. So let's talk about the specs of the Lumix TZ70. This is a 12 megapixel CMOS sensor compact camera. It has an amazing optical zoom range of 24 to 720 millimeters, which is phenomenal. 5-axis hybrid optical image stabilization built into this small, tiny little camera, which is pretty amazing. It also has a shoots RAW, uncompressed format, JPEG, fine and standard. Now the maximum resolution you're going to get out of this is something like 4000 by 3000, which is more than enough to get some really nice prints coming out of this little camera. I've printed off myself some images that I've shot with this, and they are so nice when printed out. It really is nice. The colours are beautiful, the contrast, everything just really nice to print out from a camera. An older camera like this, them colours just look amazing. The maximum apertures goes from 3.3 to 6.4, not the best, but there is little workarounds. It's got a fixed 3-inch LCD screen, shows everything that you need to see, basically 1.something million dots around about that. It also has obviously the electronic viewfinder, which gives you 100% coverage, believe it or not. Small viewfinder, but it does give you that 100% coverage, which is pretty phenomenal. So the minimum shutter speed is 4 seconds, maximum shutter speed is 1/2000th of a second. I did take it out in really bright sunlight, really harsh contrasty conditions, as you can see in the previous video and some of the footage that I've popped in this video, but it handled it really well, and it all comes down to how you're going to be shooting the camera as well. So just bear in mind, those are the limitations of this camera. Maximum aperture of f6.3 and the maximum shutter speed of 1/2000th of a second. But I've never faced any issues with those limitations yet. It can actually shoot up to 10 frames a second. Again, I've never really tried that yet. Something that I probably should test out, maybe at the longer focal lengths, maybe with wildlife, something I will get around to doing. Video format, it's full HD, which is okay. I'll pop some footage up on the screen, which you can check out the quality of the video and see for yourself whether you think it's okay or not. And it only weighs 243 grams, so for a small compact camera that actually packs a punch, that's pretty phenomenal. So I've been over the moon with this little purchase. I'm going to be looking at getting some more compact cameras because I've got my eye on a few more, and something that we'll probably discuss more as well. But yeah, that is the Lumix TZ70. Fantastic walk around camera, fantastic little street camera, one that I've thoroughly enjoyed and one that I wanted to share with you guys. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you folks in the next one. See you then.